Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in today's episode I'm going to show you how to integrate any large language model into VS Code and into PyCharm. So let's dive into it now. First thing that you will need to do is to install an extension called Continue. So let's look it up here. We type Continue and then we proceed to install this extension, in which we can use any open source large language model, but we can also use ChatGPT or Codestral or any proprietary large language model. So after we install the extension Continue, we can see on this sidebar that we now have this button of Continue. So let's click on it, and here you can start asking questions to any large language model. But first, let's specify the large language model that we want to use. Here you can click on the button plus and specify any of the providers of large language models, such as OpenAI, Mistral AI, or you can use Ollama, which is open source and you can use offline. Let's start by using OpenAI. So if we click on OpenAI button, here you will need to insert your API key. In case you don't know where to find the OpenAI API key, I will be leaving in the description below a link where you can find where to create a new API key on OpenAI. So let's see which other model they have. Let's say Mistral API. Let's click on it, and here we can proceed to insert also our API key in Mistral AI. I have it here. Let me copy paste it. So this is my API key on Mistral AI, and then if I click on Advanced, I can specify the temperature, the top K, and more parameters. I can also choose which model I want to use from Mistral AI. In this case, let's use Codestral, which is a large language model tailored for coding tasks. So let's click on it, and then we can start asking questions to the large language model. Here we can see that we have selected Codestral. And you can do the same with any other large language model. But if you want to use an open source large language model that can run locally on your computer and doesn't need internet, you will need to install Ollama. And here in Ollama website, you will need to click on the button download. And after Ollama is downloaded, you just need to go to your command prompt and type here Ollama run, and then specify the model that you want to test. In this case, let's test with Llama 3. As you can see, we were able to load Llama 3 here. And let's ask a question. Hello, how are you? And as you can see, it's working well. So now we can proceed to incorporate Llama 3 to VS Code. So let's go back to VS Code, and here we can select another model. In this case, let's select Ollama Llama 3 latest. Now that we have selected the Llama 3, we can start asking questions to the model. And for this, you don't need internet. Here I have a function in which I count the most frequent words. So if I just highlight this part and then do Ctrl L as it is suggested here, we can see that we can add this function to the chat. Let's ask, explain this function line by line. And we can see now that the large language model is generating a response specific to this function. As you can see here, Llama 3 was able to break down the function for us line by line. So here it's explaining line 1, line 2, line 3, and so on. And we can keep asking more questions to the large language model. And if you want to do this in PyCharm, the process will be very similar. Here in PyCharm, you will need to go to Settings, and then in Settings, you will need to click on Plugins. Go to the Marketplace, and here we will need to find for Continue. Let's enable Continue in this case, and then you will see that a button will appear on the sidebar on the right. Let's click on OK, and here we can see that the extension Continue is already here. So let's click on it. Here we can do the same. Let's highlight this function, and let's do Ctrl J, and in this case, we have added function to the chat. Let's ask the same question, explain this function, and we can see that the model is generating the answer. And we can do the same things as we did in VS Code. Here we can do the same. We can specify another large language model that we have installed already. In this case, here I have models from Ollama that I have already installed, but I can also select proprietary models. And that was it for today. I hope you liked this video tutorial in which I showed you how easy it is to integrate any large language model into VS Code and PyCharm. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel because it helps me a lot. Smash the like button below and turn on the notification bell so you can be the first one to know when I upload a new video. See you next week.